What's up, guys? In this video, we're going to be looking at the top 3 penny stocks in the healthcare sector that have FDA related news coming out in July, guys. So these stocks are going to be reporting with the FDA. So they're going to have a very solid potential move to the upside. So there's going to be a great opportunity for us to take advantage of it. So I'm going to be going over these 3 top penny stocks. I'm also going to be going over what is an important news, a stock market economic report that's going to be coming out tomorrow. We're going to be talking about what time and what you need to pay attention for tomorrow's stock market open, guys. So I'm going to be going over all this information, so make sure you stay tuned. Now let's get right into the video. Alright, guys, so before we get into the video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and if you have any questions, make sure you drop it in the comment section below, guys. So in the past, for the last month, I covered top penny stocks for June in the healthcare sector. So those penny stocks that we looked at actually hit the price points, and we actually hit the target, some of the profit taking areas that we marked. So I'm going to be going over in this video for July. So make sure, if before you get involved in any type of these penny stock, guys, these can potentially spike up to the upside, and if the FDA related news is actually negative, they can also go to the downside. So make sure you have a solid plan ahead of time, when you're going to put your stop loss, when you're going to take your profit, how amount of shares are you going to buy this, when you're going to sell it, how long you're going to stay on the trade. Make sure you have all of these lined up before you get involved in these penny stocks, because they can spike up and go down quickly at the same time. So really be careful, guys. So the first stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be ticker symbol ENDP. Now this company is actually at the final stage, so they're going to be passing the drug that they're trying to get approved by the FDA. That date is going to be July 6th. So they're actually at the end of the process, so they're probably going to get approved to be able to get the drug XIAFLEX available and get approved by the FDA. So that date is going to be July. Now let's look at what are the important levels and some history about this stock. As you can see over here, the volume of the company has been trading 6 million shares. The average volume in the past was 5.2 million shares, so it kind of increased by 1 million shares. The shares being bought and sold, and the 52-week range is between $1.97 to $7.10, and the 1-year price target is $5.60. As I mentioned, this is at the end stage of the FDA approval process. The majority of the time, these drugs get approved if they reached after they pass phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So this stock's more than likely going to get passed, and it's going to be available on the market pretty soon. So the market cap of this company is $792 million. As you can see over here, for the 1 year, it kind of crashed with the overall market at the same time due to the pandemic, and it was kind of bounced back pretty good. Now it's kind of trending down to the downside just a little bit. But now let's look at exactly what are the key price point levels that we can use to get involved in this specific stock. As you can see over here, the price that it closed around $3.45. So we can use the $3.20 price point area as a support over here, and we can have a very tight stop loss price point over there. So if it goes below the $3.20, or even gets close to $3, we should get out. We should definitely, that's the price point that I'll be willing to get out of if the stock actually gets to that price point. And also, if it has, they get passed, they're more than likely going to get passed. And if the market reacts to it, if the stock reacts to it due to the positive news, it can definitely spike up to potentially $4.50. So this is going to be our first price target if they pass that specific drug and be available to the public, and they release that press release. That is going to be the price target. As you can see over here, the share outstanding is 227 million shares available to the public, and institution owned 84.5%. So this is owned by a lot of institutions like hedge funds, banks, and things like that. So this can potentially affect the movement of the stock because the shares are kind of high and institutional ownership is also kind of high. So it might not spike up to the upside a lot, but it can definitely have spiking after it breaks out. It can have a continuation for 1 or 2, 3 days instead of other stocks that have very low floats over here, and they get to spike up quickly and then go down at the same time. So that is the kind of price movement I'm looking for this specific stock, guys. Now let's look at the second stock. Now before we get into the second stock, guys, make sure you like the video, and if you have any questions, make sure you drop it in the comment section below. So the second stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be ABEO. Now, this company is going to be in phase 3 initiations of dosing announced in March 17 in 2020. Phase half data to be presented at SPD meeting July 10 to 12, 2020. So once this event happens, if the company releases a positive or a kind of a negative press release about this specific presentation, the stock can react. So this is really, really important. And also the drug that they're trying to pass is called EB101. So the date for that specific time is going to be 07/10/2020. Now let's look at exactly what is the price point levels and what is exactly the history of this company, the 1-year price target, and things like that. As you can see over here, the 1-year price target estimate is $9.43. So that is pretty good because there's going to be a good upside potential for this stock, and the volume also kind of increased, not by that much, but it kind of increased too. So there's a lot of transaction that's been happening. There's an increase in transaction that happened, and the 52-week range is between $1.35 to $5.19. And the market cap of this company is $234 million. The 1 year, as you can see, it went down, sold off just like the whole market due to the pandemic, and it kind of recovered pretty good. It went back to the price point that it was before the pandemic, and now it's kind of holding up above the $2 area pretty good. So we'll see exactly if it can stay above that price point and spike up to the upside due to the FDA related news. Now let's look at exactly the price point that we can use as support and resistance levels to place our trades. As you can see over here, it's been hovering between this $3.50 and $2.50 range for the past few weeks. So if the positive news comes out, our first price target is going to be $3.50. And if the negative news comes out, and it can potentially come down to $2.50 and eventually, go below that too if it's super bad news. So our first price target is going to be to the upside, $3.50. The stop loss is going to be, if you believe that the stock is going to go up, your stop loss is going to be below, which is going to be at $2.50. So I like this specific stock because you can set up a tight stop loss area, so you can only risk like 20 cents to make a potential, a dollar to the upside if the stock spikes up to the upside. Now, when you look at the share outstanding of the stock, it's relatively lower than the stock that we just watched on the previous number one stock. So as you can see over here, it's 92 million shares. The share of the float is going to be 67.23 million. So it's kind of lower, which makes the stock have a potential to spike up if positive news comes out, like over here. And also the institutional ownership at 56%, so still the majority of the shares are held by hedge funds, banks, and etc. Now, let's move on to the third and final stock. All right, guys, before we move on to the third stock, make sure you like the video. If you have any questions, make sure you drop it in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, I appreciate it if you can subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. So the third stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be ticker symbol GRTS. And they have a phase 1 data due July 13, 2020. So the drug that they're trying to pass is Granite 001 that is used to treat solid tumors. So this is going to be a phase half trial. So now let's look at exactly the history of the company and see what is the 1-year price target and what can be a good price point to get involved in it. So the 1-year price target for this company is $20.83. So the analysts are super bullish about this company. They see a lot of potential to the upside. They believe there's a lot of potential to the upside. And due to the pre-pandemic price points, as you can see, it was trading at $10 and all that, negative news came out, and it's kind of just been trading in the $6 area. It's been trading in the $6 area, and the average volume is 228 shares. But as you can see over here, the amount of shares traded increased significantly to 1.154 in the past Friday. So that is really, really an important thing to look at because there's a lot of buying or selling going on due to the upcoming potential news that's going to happen in July. So the 52-week range is between $5.42 and the high was $12.96, and the market cap is $254 million. Now let's look at what are the important price point levels that we can use to get involved in the stock, and also see important key price point levels that we can use. So as you can see over here, the stock has been in a range between $7 and $6. So this has been in a tight range. So you can definitely set a stop loss, which is super tight. And if it breaks out, first price target is going to be $8. And if it kind of breaks down to, if it'll go eventually, it can go down to, $5, $6, $5.80. It can below, if it doesn't, the news doesn't come out pretty good, it can go below to that price point. That if it can goes up, it can go to $8. That's going to be the first profit target that we can have. And the share outstanding for the company is, as you can see, this is super, super low. 36 million shares. Share of the float is 32.36 million shares only available in the market. And institution owns 79.60%. So a lot of, the shares are held by hedge funds or banks or the big boys. So retail investors do not hold that much of the shares. But if the positive news comes out, as you can see, the stock can spike up to the upside for multiple days. So we'll definitely have a continuation if it's the positive news to the upside. And if it's a negative news, it can also have a downturn and it can have a continuation to the downside, as you can see from the previous history of the chart, guys. Now let's look at what is the important news that you need to be attention for tomorrow. The important economic report that can potentially affect the stock market either to the upside to the downside. That news is going to be coming out at 10 a.m. A pending home sale index. This is going to be, the report is going to be for the month of May. So the previous one was minus 21.8%. So if there's an improvement or a decline, this can potentially affect the price of the stock market in specific sectors. So be on the lookout for that report, especially if that time, if you're deciding to buy and sell some stocks, get involved in it, day trade and things like that, make sure you stay aware of it. But the majority of the time, the stock market at this current moment is paying more attention to the COVID-19 cases that's happening around the globe, guys. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section below. And if you want to watch daily stock market related videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Have a wonderful day.